what is life's meaning? What is life's meaning? And balance and ease. Oh my gosh, just those two words just feel so divine.
Those are the blanket ones, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. But so what would you say life's meaning is? Because it's a
big one.
That's a kahuna that we can spend 5 hours describing.
Oh, for sure. I would agree.
But we're not going to do that to people, just for the record. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. We'll still have you out of this episode in good time.
Yeah.
So life's meaning is to access your access your own inner truth.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Well, welcome, my dear friends, listeners, Deb, Moira.
Welcome.
Here we are this is Debz and Moira. Well, this is Moira over here. That's Debz over there.
Yay!
With our deliciously motivated mindset conversations here. We love spending our time with you and hope that you find our conversations exciting, uplifting, inspirational, and that you get some kind of gift
balance
from each one. Yes, balance and ease. Balance and ease. That's what we're going to be talking all about today. But before we get into our topic for today, I love this. Deb always snorts or does something when she realizes that I'm going to ask her to rate herself.
I forget this part. It's not that hard, but it's making me think. You know, so this is it. For every podcast, you make me think. And it's at the start of it, I have to think. Yeah, I have to think at the start, I have to think at the end. In between, I'm just
rolling with whatever comes up.
Maybe that's what it is. Wow. Okay.
So if you've been with us before, you know that we rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is where you're just really present. You're in this moment, feeling neutral, good, grounded, zen, peaceful. And 10 is where you're in chaos. You're stuck. You're questioning. You're saying, OMG, what the hell? What's my choice? Where did it go? And we actually all move up and down the scale. So this is a tool to assess yourself throughout your day. So even if you just do this when you're on with us, we encourage you to take it out into your everyday life as well. So all that being said, what number are you at today, my dear, for this episode?
I'm going to say a 1. But I think this is going to be a really lovely one. I could easily say a 0, but it's not a 0. It's a 0.5. I'm going to say a 1 because I think I feel complete with myself, and I think this is going to be a beautiful episode.
I would completely agree. And this is funny because this is going to be the second episode in a row that I'm completely at the same level as you. I'm at a 1. I love talking about what we're talking about today, and I look forward. I think this is going to be like a big, nurturing, warm blanket for the soul.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh, it's one of those weighted blankets. But it's just this little love blanket wrapped around.
A love blanket. Yes. So we're talking about balance and ease. Connect me to life's meaning.
Well,
Ah.
well, Moira,
Well.
what is life's meaning? What is life's meaning? And balance and ease. Oh my gosh, just those two words just feel so divine.
Those are the blanket ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But so what would you say life's meaning is? Because that's a real,
It's a big one.
that's a kahuna that we can spend 5 hours describing.
Oh, for sure. I would
But
agree.
we're not going to do that to people, just for the record. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay. We'll still have you out of this episode in good time.
Yeah.
So life's meaning is to access
Live.
your access your own inner truth. Who are you? What makes your heart sing? Where's your joy? Where's your sense of fun? What calls you? What makes you say, I could do this all day long just because? That's when you know that you've accessed your life's meaning. Like I can't go, ta-da, here's the big sign. This is what life means.
Yeah.
Because it's unique to every one of us, and it's to do with what is our soul's calling. And we've talked about that in previous episodes about soul's calling. It's about asking yourself that question that I've referenced many times is, how does this make me feel about me?
Mm.
So this, meaning this environment, this situation, this choice, these people, this work that I do, this service offering, this course that I'm teaching, how does it make me feel about me? And this is a question that is really deeply rooted in assessing, I only want to do the things that light me up, that make me say, yes, that I could do this for forever, right? So life's meaning is for me to experience my joy, my sense of exuberance, of play, of auspiciousness, of quirkiness, whatever my flavor is. You and I have a lot of things in common, but we also have a lot of quirkinesses that put us apart too, which is kind of fun. That's why we have these awesome conversations, right? How would you, what would you say to
well, look, life's meaning just sounds like you're going down the rabbit hole. Like instantly you're like, oh, what's life's meaning? Even just saying that, people just go, oh, like I said, we could talk about this for hours. But I just want to say it's about you.
Yeah.
Not what other people
Nope.
are throwing their stuff in, you, but also, which is anything that lights you up. And I say that, but also what deflates you to recognize what it is.
Yes.
But pivot is my word for this. Pivot. If it doesn't feel right, pivot. If it feels amazing, stay on that until you're ready to pivot and bring more on or change a little, but be okay with your decisions.
Absolutely.
If you pivot too soon and you have an experience that isn't as great as what you thought, be grateful for that experience, pivot again. Like, I think that's the thing, is just be okay with whatever it is, and don't regret not pivoting sooner or pivoting too late or not pivoting at all or just staying where you are. Just that's where you are right now. Be okay with life's meaning.
Absolutely. But the thing is too in this is that to me, life's meaning too is the realization that I'm creating it all.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You are that. It's your meaning.
It's just my meaning. So, and so to your point too, and this is why it's really important, I think, to not have regret, is that, back to that question, how do I feel about myself? So let's say I ask that, how do I feel about myself in this group scenario or this opportunity? And I think, I feel a little nervous. I feel a little anxious, feel a little worried. So right there, I have that awareness. Now, what am I going to do? I might go, well, isn't this an interesting thing to feel? Let's go further into it and say yes still, because I think I want to go and get the gift out of that nervousness or I might go, oh no, that's a red flag, and so I'm going to do the pivot, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But I can't ever tell anybody this is how you do it. It's about owning your choices and always knowing that you are at choice, always, 100% of the time, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is balance and ease sound so beautiful, but I'm going to say the word but. Balance and ease sounds so beautiful, and when you see the gratitude in every icky situation, you do find balance and ease.
That's right. Yes.
And not sit in a pickle, if I was to say it. So that balance and ease is all through your life, all the way when you make your decisions, if you can change your thought process instead of looking at the 10s out of the zeros.
Right. Well said. But the other thing too is that, to me, balance and ease, knowing that sense of balance and ease connect me to my life's meaning, or connect me to life's meaning, like the whole life's meaning, because it's I think of it as a cosmic jigsaw puzzle, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But the thing is that where I'm coming from is that I can be in a pickle or in a chaotic situation, and that doesn't feel like balance and ease. But when I trust myself and trust
trust is that big word that's in highlights.
Always comes up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then it means I can't see that sense of balance and ease right now, but I know it's with me. And that helps me shift out of that pickle way faster than if I go, oh my God, balance and ease is lost to me and all I have is this pickle. Because it's by that contrast that we then get to savor those moments more. Right? We can't, and the truth is, in this human life, we can't have one without the other. We would never know what balance and ease felt like if we hadn't faced or gone through moments of chaos and complete discombobulation, right?
Yeah. Well, the 10s and the zeros are about your life's meaning.
Yes.
And you
Two
must
ends
have
of the same spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. And you must have the 10s and the zeros to get through everything, because you cannot be a zero all the time.
No.
And you
It'd
can't
be pretty boring anyway.
Yeah, you'd be
vanilla.
Yeah. And we ain't vanilla.
We certainly ain't vanilla.
But even being a 10 all the time, even though sometimes people may feel like they've sat in that 10 space for 3 months or 5 days or a year or 2 years, I guarantee you haven't been in the 10 space. There'll be moments where you've been 10 and then maybe an 8 and then a 7 and then maybe a 9 and then, you can't sit in the 10.
No.
For a limited amount of time. And the same with a zero. And that is what it is. But it all comes back to your expectations of your life's meaning.
Yes. And that's a really good point, because don't you think that expectations of your life's meaning are a looking outward thing, as opposed to realizing it's actually the opposite way around? It's time to look within.
Well, how many times have people come to you and said, what's my life's purpose?
Oh my God, if I had a nickel for every time.
If I had $1 every time.
I'd be a multimillionaire.
Yeah, I'd definitely be a billionaire by that. Yeah. But that's it. Oh, I don't know my life's purpose. Or I see everyone else on their purpose, or everyone doing
People
something meaningful.
People have said that to me so many times, is like, I don't know my life's purpose. Oh, you're lucky because you're obviously following your purpose. Like,
all the way through my life I have.
Yeah,
I know, but that, I don't know if that's society that has created, people who are marketing, come to us so you can find out what your life's purpose is, or, are you on purpose? Or
that's the unfortunate part. Yes, for sure. As a society, we are programmed to look outside, to ask outside.
Absolutely.
As opposed to sit.
So not minimize. Yeah. So even just that it's what's inside, and that what's inside your soul is right there.
That's right.
And you can attach other stories to your stuff or not, and it's up to you, but you can detach someone's story just as quick as it attaching to you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important to remember as well.
Absolutely. And so, I just said about the social conditioning to look outside of themselves. And then here's me and you being coaches and mentors and guides. But that's it. We are coaches, mentors, and guides. We are not telling people how to do it. We're holding space for them to actually get the answer that's there already and help, peel the layers of the onion.
Showing you how to get those answers.
Yeah. Yes,
as I
absolutely.
think.
Absolutely. Because it's just because the answers are all within us, we haven't been really shown the treasure map of how to get to that gold. Right. And I think that's kind of what we do. We help people unearth it.
Well, it's finding your glitter.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Purple glitter.
You have purple glitter. You have purple and gold glitter.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think I would like to go down that part of shame and guilt, because when we make decisions, we're either on board with that decision or we know it's not the right decision, but we still make that decision anyway.
Yeah.
And when we have that shame and guilt that we think it's not the right decision, that can come from past experiences, other people. So it's like, oh, look what I just did. I just signed up for this amazing course. Oh, you can't do that. How are you going to put that into your time? Right. Or why did you spend that money? Or, oh, that's a lot of money. Or, oh, okay, well, don't burst my bubble. I'm very excited about this course or whatever it is. And you've just got to be cautious that just going to let the dogs bark.
The dogs are barking.
That the dogs have got their own little stories and they're dealing with their own life's meaning.
They're finding their balance and ease as they bark.
Totally. Yeah. Must be a courier. That I've just, hang on. Yeah. I don't even know what I was talking about then. But you've got to be cautious that they are your life's meaning and you don't get distracted or pivoting because of other people's life's meaning.
Yeah, you were talking about the regret and the guilt and shame.
Oh, yeah.
And so to your point, that's absolutely right, is that sometimes I find people will get into that because they judge themselves based upon what they think other people think of them.
Yeah.
And it's all made up story anyway, number one. But the thing is that I don't believe we ever do really make wrong decisions.
Yeah.
We can find things that it's going away I didn't prefer, but I chose it, so I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to, or not do it, right? Because just because you make a choice doesn't mean you can't then say, I said yes to that, but it's not really working or not resonating, so I'm going to put it down and turn it around, right? Yeah. And so actually it's really funny because it's happened twice this past week to me, where how as business owners we have recurring memberships for certain tools and business things.
Yes.
And I am really bad for that because I'll say yes, I need that tool, and I'll sign up for it, and then I'll forget that it's on auto renew, and then you get the notification of, by the way, you just paid for this.
And what happened to the warning?
Both of these didn't give me a warning. They didn't tell me it was being renewed, and just took the money. So with both of them, I hadn't used them since I signed up, used it once, and then figured out it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for the application I needed it for. So on both of these occasions, I wrote to them and said, sorry, my bad. I should have canceled the plan or alerted you. Yeah. I'm not using the tool anymore. Could you see your way to refunding? Because,
Yeah, because.
And it happened years ago. This happened to me with something else because, like I said, it's a pattern for me. I was like, oops. But so one of them wrote back and said it's not our policy, because it's actually in the small print that they do not refund. But I mean, I've canceled, and so it's like, But because I had done it, I think it was like the day after they'd taken the money, they refunded me in full. And then the second one that I did, they said, they actually did it really quickly too, and then said, oh, it's going to take 3 to 5 days for us to process it. Well, it was Sunday yesterday for me. They processed it in the same day and I had the money back in.
Oh.
So here's why I'm bringing that up is that I'm following my life's meaning. I'm always making the choices that say yes, and realizing that sometimes I make choices for software or programs like this that aren't. So I'm not going to beat myself up for it. But then there is a little bit of a beating up of like, dang it, I've let it go again. And so I've got these charges. But finding that sense of balance and ease, it's like, well, I can just tell them. And I'm not attached. You know, I would have been willing to say it's my bad, so I have to write it off as a business expense, right?
Yeah.
But and so really came from that sort of neutral zero place, and was thrilled that how quickly they both responded and got all my money back.
I think the key there is what you just said, is you came from a balance and ease place. Energetically, you came from a different space when you approached. Right. You know, you didn't come from that desperation. You came from that balance and ease, like, okay, I'll just ask.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a yes or no.
That's right. And I'll accept either.
And I remember one of my first mentors, Matthew Fade, bless him, who's just such an angel. Well, he is actually an angel now. Well, he's probably the devil as well. He think about him. He would say, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Absolutely.
And I remember him saying that to me, and I went, well, that's just stupid. And then I went, oh my God, you're right.
It is
if
right.
you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So you either ask, but you ask with that balance and ease in that energetic field, not desperation, and they may receive it with that and go, okay, yeah, that's no problem. Right. I'm the same. I've got a plan that I pay $40 US every year for a privacy thing on my laptop, and it's really good for. And so every year I just go, this is ridiculous. I still pay for this. But so the other day I just got done it again. Now I haven't traveled for a year and a half. So I'm just like, do I really need that? Do I really need a privacy that nobody can hack into my computer if they're sitting beside me? Like, do I really need that? And then I'm like, okay. And I got stung my $40 US again. And I'm going to say stung because it was that. So I went, right, I'm going to investigate this. So I went down and I looked at their plans, and their plans have doubled.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciously-motivated-mindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciously-motivated-mindset.com/gift.
Oh,
now, and wow. I'm on an old plan, and I'm like, I'm not going to cancel this.
Nope.
Start this again.
Exactly.
When I go to travel in another maybe year's time, I'm just going to leave this the way it is. Now, I know when I travel and I sit in lounges or anywhere that no one can hack my computer, and it just for $40 US. Seriously, Deborah, you're going to cancel that? And I'm
That's
like, well,
certainly providing you balance and ease.
I know that totally, but I had to go down that path of spending 3 or 4 minutes to investigate. I went, I can do this right now. It hit me. I went, oh, for God's sake, Deborah, why didn't you do this last year? And I just went, okay, let's just do it right now. I have the time right now to investigate. And the moment I went and looked at their, found them, researched, looked at them, and then went, oh, I'm not going to
lose that plan.
No, instantly I just went, and that's all it took. Yep. Done. Yep. Feel centered, balanced, grateful that money went out. Straight away I went, oh, I'm grateful that they put me on the reoccurring. It didn't say, hey, by the way, we've upgraded our accounts. Exactly. You now have to pay this
new
price or
new
whatever.
Rate. But both of our examples that we've just shared, and this is why I wanted to bring that up into this conversation, is that, You come from a place, so your initial reaction was, oh, why didn't you deal with it last year?
Absolutely.
Same thing for me was like, oh, dang, I didn't do anything about it. I didn't use it for a year, and I let it.
I've had a whole year to deal with this.
Exactly. You get into this little regret, beating yourself up kind of thing. But I was over that like within 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, Zobia, I know who I am.
I went to investigate.
I know my pattern.
Yeah.
But that's the key piece. And I really encourage our listeners to take this on in any kind of pattern of when you do have that sense of regret, or I should have done something better, or, oh, this sucks, or have that moment. Have the moment. You may want to just tap on your collarbone or put your hand over your heart. Just forgive yourself, stay present. And then assess.
No shame and guilt there. No shame and guilt. Just,
and then assess. Are you going to do something like Deb did and find out, oh, it's best to do nothing because I actually got a great gift here? Or are you going to do something like I did and write a nicely worded, respectful request? I'm not using this, and if I could have my money back, that'd be greatly greatly appreciated. So both of them had great outcomes.
And I do believe that is because of how we approached it.
Yes. Yeah, completely.
And that is your balance and ease. That is about your life's meaning, because nobody, you don't have to be fire and,
oh gosh,
all the time.
No.
Well, look what happened to me this week.
Yeah.
Last week. Yeah. I had a little incident, and one of the things was an incident. I had a mini car crash.
Yes.
And the gentleman just fired like a machine gun, fired at me.
Mm-hmm.
You did this and you did this and you did this, and was totally aggressive, that I was left with
stunned shock.
Yeah, completely, because I can't tell you the last time someone has got in my face and spat aggressively.
We talked about that. It was like, when's the last time? And neither of us could think of a time where we've been treated or talked to like that.
No. And I was really, my partner said, because you don't deal in that world. And I'm like, can't tell you the last time someone's really.
No, you would probably be part of you would have been wanting to look right behind your shoulder and say, who are you talking to? I was literally like, what, me? Mm-hmm.
And then he did make a comment. He said, you need to slow down. And at that moment, my brain registered and went, oh my God, I'm on the motorway. And it's a little bit different to driving around town. And I was coming up to a roundabout, and I know coming up to a roundabout, I slow down. I'm like a nana. I don't take those, and so when he said you need to slow down, I went, oh,
so you really can't see me.
Yeah, you're in a completely different world. But for me, it really made me assess a lot about stuff. Now, I would have loved to have worked with him mentally to go, what's really going on? Now, that definitely wouldn't have helped.
No, not in that fired up environment for sure.
But totally, it really showed me that there is that extreme. Now, if he had approached it differently, we would have had a different outcome, but we clearly didn't, where I had to call 111, which in New Zealand's like 999, and we had a different
911.
outcome. Yeah. Oh, 911. Oh, I always thought you were 999.
No, 999 is the UK.
Why don't they all have the same ones around the world?
I don't know.
That would be so much easier for all of us. Okay, so now that we've educated everybody, we are 111 in New Zealand and Australia.
And Canada and the US is 911, and the UK is 999.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, well, I don't know where else you are in the
world. So now you're all good. You know how to call emergency services wherever country you're in.
And then there's Moira and Debz as the other ones, as your emergency services.
That's right.
But it's really interesting how people react to certain things. And like I was saying, energetically, if he had approached that differently,
it would have been different for sure.
It would have had a completely different outcome. I mean, as it was when we pulled over side by side and wound the windows down in the car, I did have the dogs going, I'm going to eat you. You've upset my mum. Both dogs. And both dogs both dogs got a fright. They were strapped in, so that so
course.
then they could hear this man yelling at their mum.
Mhm.
But it's just showing that how we handle things and what the energy we put out, we get back. And when I pulled over to say, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
And then that was my general, "Are you okay?" And then he just went, "Rah!" And I was like, so of course I didn't come back with, "Wow, that's a real shame you're feeling that way, mister," because that's not what I got. I just
because that's not going to work. You have to you have to communicate on the level that the communication is. But something I wanted to circle back to in what you said is that piece that you said when he said you ought to slow down, and that tweaked something for you. You actually let you see what level he was at. And in the way you described it, it felt like you got your equilibrium. It allowed you to find more balance and ease right there. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The moment he said that, I went, oh, my whole, I changed. I pivoted right there and then. I went, oh, no matter what you say or do, he's not going to hear you. You have to call in the authorities on this one very quickly.
But not only that, it actually then said he's not really talking to you because he's got a completely warped assessment of who you are and what you were doing.
Absolutely, and his life's meaning. and he may have his patterns. He may absolutely have his own patterns of what he does, and
going around with dragon fire out of his mouth.
Yeah, and accuses people of the complete opposite because he's guilty in what he does.
But
it was definitely an alertness to another level of alertness to human behavior that made me go, wow, look how much I do live in my bubble. Like, I do live in my bubble. I don't have, I have people who get on the phone and cry and do this. And, they've told me they've had experiences where somebody's done something like that. Like, I was definitely hyperventilating when I calmed down.
Not surprised.
And then went, oh my gosh, this is what's happened. And there was a lot of white trucks that were around triggering me as they were driving past, it definitely alerted me to that, but it allowed me to sit and get really present. And, when I spoke to my mum and I spoke to my dad and my partner, it just really went, oh, okay. There's a lot here. Mum had a scenario, mum had a story to help me. Dad had a story to help me. My partner had a story to help me.
Good.
And they were the beautiful stuff and so did the communications policeman. They were just beautiful things to bring you back to your life's meaning and ground yourself. And I said to Mum, God, I hope I never meet that guy again. And Mum goes, Deborah, if you go to court, you will have to meet that guy again. And in your job, you of all people will be able to look him in the eye and talk to him in a sensible tone. And I was like, oh, okay, Mum, thanks very much. Thanks very much for saying that. And, me going, I just want to run away and never see that guy again. And it was like, okay, Mum, okay. But they all did have that. Yeah. Ugh, I'll stop crying now. But and they all gave me a little scenario that allowed me to look at the bigger picture. And I could take on their words or not. And I think that's the part of the balance and Eve for life's meaning is be okay with the feedback you get from people. You don't have to listen to it.
You don't have to take it on. Absolutely. And so you don't have to take it on, but you do honor.
You need to acknowledge it.
Yeah, you honor where they're coming from because they were all super content. I mean, when you told me, I was immediately like, oh my God.
I locked the doors as soon as I pulled over. I instantly locked. Because I just thought, if he got out of that car, things would have changed.
But so now it would just be send him compassion, let go.
I did that. That night I did, when I went to bed, I did send him gratitude and just sent him love to say it's okay, we can deal with this, because he must have been in a absolute pickle as well. In an absolute state.
I think I've shared that before about the guy that used to bully me relentlessly at school. He was so mean, hated me going to school just because of this guy just picked on me. And then I met him many years after graduating. I was in an organization where we did personality assessments.
Sorry.
I know.
No, I mean, and then
Yeah.
you met him there.
Well, and he did. He came in, and it was really funny because I could see through reception. I recognized him immediately, and I said, "I'm not doing his. I won't do it." and then it's like, but Moira, there's nobody else here to do it. You're the only one that's available right now. And I'm like,
I'm not available. I've got tummy ache. I'm going to the toilet for an hour.
So it's so funny though. So I walked into the office to sit down and start his assessment, and he goes he's all chatty to me. I'm like, hello. Come here often. And I start with the assessment, and he, like I said, he was being so flirty, and I had to stop. I stopped and I said, "Don't you know who I am? Do you not recognize who I am?" And he was like, and you know what he said to me? He says, "You mean I've met somebody as gorgeous as you before?"
Oh, wow.
That was like,
how bless him.
Excuse me?
You're like, yes, but
Yes, but
calm your farm, mate.
Yep. So I told him, about all the bullying and everything, and he burst into tears. He sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed.
Oh my God. Oh, you meanie, Moira.
No, he sobbed because this is like really awesome, clearing, cathartic sobbing. Because it turned out that he was being abused by his father the whole time. And there was actually a little bit of it still sticking around, even when I was speaking to him. So what a healing for me to give context to, and that's what I'm feeling like with this guy, is like there is always a story.
A story behind the story.
Yeah, because at the core of all of us, we are actually loving spiritual souls. That's what we're here for. So anything that's not that, there's a story, there's some abuse, there's some chaos.
We don't wish people to, what do we say, die a shallow grave. We don't wish that. We may think that, but our soul is not saying that.
No, absolutely
deep
not.
down. And no matter what they've done or not done, as John DeMartini says, they are worthy of love.
That's right.
And as we are.
Yep.
And love definitely comes in a different form sometimes.
Absolutely. I've been having this conversation with a client who has an adult son who's actually kind of being abusive, just in how he talks to his parents and stuff. And so I keep saying, boot him out. He's professional. He's earning his own money. Don't put up with it. And oh no, I can't because this and this. Like, time for tough love, right? Because that's another part about love. We all do deserve love, but we teach people how to treat us. So if we sit in the space of somebody yelling and screaming at you all the time, criticizing you, picking at you, telling you you're not good enough, blah, 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 because at some point you have to realize, take charge, because you have said or done something that says it's okay for them to talk to you like that. And that's a big one, right? About coming back into life's meaning is love, fun, joy, peace, gratitude.
It doesn't have to be that chaotic number 10.
Exactly. But you visit number 10 to get the contrast.
It's absolutely, it's okay to see number 10 and acknowledge it before you can transition out of it, if we were to say it. So totally, but that's all part of life's meaning.
It is.
The 10s and the 0s and the in-betweens.
And the in-betweens. And the ups and downs. Yeah.
And that man, that sounded good. That man gave me so much. So much. And one of the beautiful things when I talked to the police communications person is he said, just breathe and put your hand on your heart.
I know, I loved it when you said that. Like,
and it was just like, oh, okay. Just breathe and put your, and that's what I say to people when you're in that state. But I got myself into a pickle that I was driving in, even when my partner came and I said, I have to go back to that scene, it was like, you drove all this way? I'm like, when I actually calmed down, and then the policeman said, they said, trying to pull over, and I said, well, I can't because I've got yellow lines, and had to drive another K or so, and pull over. And he said, just now that you could stop, just breathe and put your hand on your heart. And that is part of life's meaning, having those strategies and bringing me back to, Deborah, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're actually totally, you live here. Yeah. And to bring him back to my human behavior that I teach.
Yeah.
Like that was a beautiful way of grounding me again. Balance and ease.
Getting you back into balance and ease.
for my life's meaning. And that man has his life's meaning. And I don't know the story to what goes on.
No, and that's the key piece, is that you don't need to know. And so that's that you release the story and the judgment of that, because he's on his path.
I know we've got to wrap it up. But it's that same thing. Every dog has their day. They say every dog has their day, and you're like, yeah, but I just want to see it. I just want to see it. Can I not just like have a sliding door a little glass door that I can just see them have their day?
Well, maybe you could just visualize it and then let it go.
And let it go. That's exactly
it.
That's exactly
all about the letting go, right?
Yeah, well, if you want to know how to let it go, contact Moira. She's got a great letting go process. So I know we've tapped over a little bit of time. Balance and ease connects me to life's meanings. Anything you'd like to say to wrap it up, Moira? Actually, I would just like to say, before I offer you that, I would just like to say thank you to my driver of that car, but also thank you to your man who had a different understanding and showed you that, and that you can be on this call and share that with people to go, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Then and now. And you've held on to that for so long that I'm not dealing with that man. Yes. Moira, you're the only one who has to. Oh, damn. I'm like, quick, hide in the toilet with tummy ache for an hour.
Right. Yes. Nope. It's on me. No. And ended up being a beautiful gift. When we face those things.
For both.
Gift. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And for all our listeners here, as you share that story, and anytime you do share that story.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one last wee piece that I would interject here before we wrap it up is that to trust yourself. You're always in the right place at the right time. And even if you've lost sight of your sense of balance and ease, know that it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. Hand over your heart, take a few deep breaths. Know that all chaos shifts. Nothing's permanent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Wow. What a lovely one today.
This has been awesome.
This is not how I thought we'd go down this path. I don't fancy that. So balance and ease connects me to life's meaning. You and I were both ones when we started out of the 0 to 10. I know where I am. I know where you'll be.
Absolutely.
So listeners, what number were you and what number are you at now? Because Moira, where would you be?
Let
me use
0.
my psychedelic.
Use your psychedelic powers and tell me where am I?
You would be a 0.
I'm a 0. As are you.
Same. That's our purple and gold glitter.
Absolutely.
Coming out here. Oh, I just looked at my nails. My nails are gold glitter.
Oh, they are too. And mine are purple, but of course
purple
with some glitter.
Oh, that's funny. So that's our balance and ease connects us to life meaning. We are both a 0. Let us know where you're at.
I hope you are or near it.
Yeah, I trust you've had a shift closer to the 0. People, if not, then there's
we're always here for you. Listen. Yeah, well, absolutely. We're always here for you. You can message us on our Facebook group or separately, individually.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for today, listeners. Thank you, Moira.
Thank you, dear Deb.
Way more complete. More complete.
Awesome. Happy to hear that.
Thank you. Have an inspiring week, people.
Yeah.
And
we'll be back with you next week.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.